Hi, my people. Welcome back to 100 Days of Data with Miss Mailiana. It's day 43. How are you doing so far? I won't lie, the energy dropped to zero, right? You realize that for a couple of from day 30 something to about day 40, it was a little bit of rush, a little bit of I have to do this, a little bit of why am I doing this, a little bit of all that. But we are still going to hit our 100 days, right? We are still going to put in our best, even if we fall, you'll still get up again. So I am recording this on day, I think 47, right? So I'm recording day 43 on day 47 roughly. And that is because the structure that I have in teaching this or creating this YouTube channel with this 100 days challenge, the main goal is to help everyone or anyone who wants to learn data analytics here in Ghana or here in Africa with ease, right? You may want to buy a course, you may want to subscribe to a course, you may want to invest in yourself, but you want to test if data analytics is really for you before you go into it, right? So that is why Data with Miss Mailiana is here, and that's why this YouTube channel this year is to give the masses the easy knowledge or the basics foundation of data analytics before they get into it. It is also to train me to the next level of teaching, putting myself out there, failing at it, teaching. I love teaching, right? And I know how to teach. Why? Because I've been teaching all my life. I've been teaching my grandma all my life. But after a while, I realized that it's not easy to teach. I don't know if you get me, but like, it's not easy to actually teach and just come here, like, put you, whether you are doing it right or wrong. Like, sometimes you think that, hey, am I teaching the right thing? Right? Sometimes you be like, when someone come and say, oh, you didn't do this well, oh, you didn't do that well. I used to get that when I started teaching this, or I started the 100 days challenge last year. I was using TikTok, and you know how it is, right? But then we are not stopping. That's one thing. So if you are also like me and you've been learning and it's like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days that you've not picked up again, please pick up, right? No one is like pick up, okay? And also those who have been following religiously, no one has actually come into my DM to ask where is the next day, right? Where is day 43? But then I believe that someone is keeps comes to check what's going on, what's going on, because you're still talking about 100 days of data, right? So all this is to say that the challenge is a challenge, right? It's not easy because my team will create the whole structure, right? I've given them all the templates, all the structure. We'll create the whole curriculum and everything because I've given them the whole thing, and I have to sit, make my notes, and record. So it's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. So this video is, or what I'm trying to say is that let's clap for ourselves. So let's take a minute to clap for ourselves. We've done well. Yeah, almost at day 50. Yeah, we'll hit 100 very soon in April, and it's going to be amazing. So if you are still here, I love it for you because I love it for myself as well. And also, if you haven't joined if you haven't joined our community, either on WhatsApp, you've not filled the forms, what are you waiting for? So many information, so many things that we are going to be giving to you around the data field. So join us on that note. All right, well done once again. So let's get into today's video. We are going to start we are going to get into our final two for this challenge, right? So I teach Excel, Power BI, SQL, and Python, and we've gone through Excel, we've gone through Power BI, we've gone through SQL, and now you're going to go through Python, right? I think because of the reason, or because of what people say about Python, I have it behind my mind that, oh, if I teach this, people will still not get it, something like that. So it was like pulling me back whilst I was also going through rehab. Not as in anything wrong with me, but rehabilitation means that you are just recouping, like coming back to yourself again because you lost the energy, because the pressure is like February, January, February feels like 18 months for me. I won't lie. 18 months. So if I add March, it'll be like I've spent 2 years already in this year, because what I've done, like I've stretched myself. And that's the beauty of things, right? So let's see how the results will also come. Okay. All right. So let's get into today's video. Before that, let's try it out. Right. Is a new board, or we just cleaned the board, right? So day 43 out of 100. It's 100 days of data with Miss Mailiana. Whoa. Okay. I can't just use this. All right. If we need to buy new markers, hopefully I get to buy them within this week. All right. So we are going to look at today's a new topic called a new tool Python, which is going to be kind of like our final tool. All right, so Python is a programming language used to instruct computers, right? So we actually said Excel. Let's take a recap again. So Excel collects, we use Excel to collect data, right? We use Excel to collect data, arrange. You can use Excel to also arrange data. You can use Excel to analyze. Let's say collect, arrange, clean, and analyze, right? Data. So I'm going to bring the data last. Then we use SQL to create database, right? So okay, our blue is officially finishing. So we use SQL to create database. All right, so the database is for management. So let's say manage, we use SQL to manage, also arrange, and also analyze data. So this will be just data. This could be large data. All right. Then we have Power BI, which is used to analyze. So we can use Power BI to analyze, show insights, create dashboards, and reports, right? And now Python. So Python we can actually generate data from Python. We can also clean data with Python. These are not just the only activities we can use the tools for. These are just the basics ones, like the starting points. Okay, we can generate data, which is more of even advanced, right? But we can clean. So let's not do generate here. So let's keep it to the basic, right? So we can clean our data with Python. We can analyze our data with Python. We can now repeat process, right? So if you want to repeat process, and then we can automate. All right, so this, right? So this is going to be for big, right? So something like large data also, right? You can use it for all the data, but I just want you to understand like how important it is. So at the starting point, when you are using Excel, starting point, right? It's easy. Like Excel is the starting point. At this point, Excel, if you have Excel and SQL, your starting point is solid. If you learn Power BI, you are very good. But now, when you are building, right, let's say you've learned these things for like 3 months straight. Now you know the foundation, you know that okay, this is and this is this, like now you get a job. Okay, so let's say you really didn't learn Python, you just followed this 100 days of data, knew about the basics information around Python, right? And then now you get the job, right? So you get the job and you started using Excel, you started using SQL, you started using Power BI for your work, right? And now it becomes repetitive. Something like every week you are given a weekly report which has the same information. So maybe you have a particular dashboard that you use for that weekly report, right? So it becomes repetitive. So if it becomes repetitive, there's a way for you to actually use Python to make things happen automatically, right? So you learn about that. So maybe there's also another one, monthly reports you have. Then you actually also learn how to automate and make it happen. All right. So you now use these tools to start now, and then when, so that means that you will be learning on the job. When it comes to Python, it's not that difficult if you put your mind to it. If you are able to go through this, it becomes easier for you to say that okay, I want to use this to make my work easier around this. Do you get? So that is this one. So you've had a recap. Now let's get into what Python is really, right? So it's a programming language. So previously we were talking about queries, but this time around, programming language. Not the English. The English is what? Language. So with the same ideology of SQL being a language, Python too could be a different type of language. And this time around, we are talking about coding or codes. All right. Okay, so that is SQL. That is Python actually. So now I've already positioned Python in the data flow. My notes is here, right? So Excel is for small data sets with quick calculations. SQL is to retrieve data and query it, manage it, and arrange it, and all that. Power BI is for visualization and communication. Python is for advanced analysis, repeating things, and all that. We just looked at that. So now, what does Python do, right? So let's get into that. Okay. What does Python do? Okay. All right, so in the basic terms, right? So note in the small terms, the basic terms. Python. I don't know why I keep saying Excel, right? Python helps you actually clean large data, right? So there may be a lot, like you can have a data that is in the millions, right? When you're starting, you'll be using data that are in hundreds, thousands, like maybe 1,000 data sets, 2,000 data sets, 500 data sets to start. So that's like Excel basics. But you can have a data that's like 500,000, 1 million data, right? And Python comes in very well for you to clean your data to see all the missing values, duplicates, and all those things. It makes it easier. All you need to do is just put in some codes, right? And thanks to the codes could be gotten, but you need to understand your codes and debug it, right? You know that codes have, if you don't know, like codes can, like AI can give you codes, but there will be a lot of errors in there, but the errors are unseen. I don't know how to put it, but something like you can get AI can give you a code of 1+1 is you give like you say, oh, how did we get 2? Okay, and it will tell you that okay, 1+1 is 2, so this is the code, right? So you want to get 2, and this is the code, but actually the code that will make it easy and all that, or the code that will make you work effectively throughout, is maybe 2+0, which is also 2, but AI is giving you that. So if you actually understand the codes, right, you understand the basics of Python and everything, you know that okay, this is the major thing, the plus sign. So now you'll be like, okay, no, it's not supposed to be 1+1, but it's supposed to be 2+0, something like that, right? So that is why some developers are still saying that like vibe coding and all those things, you still would have some is it biases or some, there's a name for it, something like there are loopholes, something like that, right? So you use it to clean large data, then now we use it for automating repetitive work. I think I've mentioned this already. And then we use it for advanced learning. So now this one is the final one. So if you are here and you are starting your data journey from scratch, so you are starting with me teaching you data analytics, but the goal, which was one of my goals last 6 years ago, is to become a data scientist, right? And when it comes to data scientists, you'll be doing a lot of modeling and all those things. So you get to learn machine learning. So if you're able to learn your Excel, your Power BI, your SQL, and you are good with it, and you've started data analytics so well, and maybe you've gotten your first job or your second job out of it, and you want to advance to data science, like learning Python is going to give you that edge, then you advance to machine learning, right? So working with AI, machine learning combined, Python helps you do that. So that is what Python is all about. So now let's look at, I have it in my notes here that the final thing I talk about is, all right, so the final thing I'll talk about is many people hear the word coding and immediately they feel intimidated. In fact, before I was about recording this video from 2 days ago, I was always thinking, like, would someone actually pay attention to this Python thing? Everybody, like majority of people are running away from data because of Python, right? So would people listen? But yeah, as a data analyst, you should know that your work is not solely behind the computer. I'll use this thing like around the gym. They'll tell you that the gym is just 20%, but the food you take in is 80%. So similar to data analytics, the tools are just 20%, and 80% is you knowing how to communicate, you knowing a lot about businesses, you knowing how to run, like how to show up and say that, oh, when we look at like you being a stakeholder, you being like, you not being, oh, AI can do my job, you being like, I'm here to help you, like you be like, I don't want to say you be like me, but you being able to communicate, you being able to show that, oh, I see this company, I see that like our company is doing well. Since I came to the office, since I came to join this organization, you get the opportunity, you are going for a presentation, right? And whilst you are presenting, you are not just like, okay, so today I'm going to show you how the company is doing so far. So da 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 da. You actually come in and you be like, okay, I joined this company like 6 months ago, and it has been amazing. And going deep dive into your data has showed me that there's a lot of potential for this company to move on to the next level, or times 10 of their of the results we are getting so far. So let's get into the data. So I show you how we can achieve, or what we've been doing so far, before we get into how we can achieve the 10 times the 10 times results I want us to do. So that is that if you went into the company and the company was doing 1 million Ghana cedis. I'm in Ghana, so let me use Ghana cedis, or in dollars, right? So that everybody watching wherever will understand. If you went to the company and what's the revenue the company was generating is about $1 million monthly, on a monthly basis, you'd be like, oh, with the data I've analyzed for the past 6 months, probably I didn't have half year review, right? So from the data set I've gotten so far for the past 6 months, I can see a lot of loopholes. I can see a lot that we can do to actually be making about $10 million monthly, right? So now you are presenting yourself as you are interested in the company growing, because if the company grows, maybe, and you show them the way, they can give you some bonus. Do you get? So you give that. So that is what's the 80% work. You are making sure that the company grows. You are not just, so data becomes the 20%, and you come and show them, okay, so far this is where we've gotten to. People are doing well, these branches are doing amazing, we can make sure that these branches actually multiply. Do you get a feel? That is actually the 80%, and that actually makes you make you not shakable, like, oh, AI is going to take my job, because you know how to use the tools to let the company move on first. Know that almost, I don't know which company doesn't want money, but like there's either impact, there's something they are looking for, there's a result they are looking for. So every company will want their results to multiply. So you, as a data analyst, do not position yourself as just a staff, but position yourself as someone who would actually multiply. So now it becomes easier to just know that, oh, okay, Python is not going to be a difficult thing, because it's just 20% of my work. In fact, it's just part of the 20% of my work, because remember, there's Excel, there's Power BI and all that, and there's AI. So AI can't even help me, but I need to know what AI is teaching me, or AI is giving me, so that I'm going to give trash to my bosses or my staff. Do you get the idea? So AI and Python is not difficult. It's not difficult. Start saying it to yourself. Python is not difficult. So you're going to end here. We are back, all right? We never left, right? We just needed that break to recoup, and we are back to finish up what we started. So in fact, I'm going to bombard you. You're going to fill up like the whole space of like where we missed and all that. So thank you so much for learning with us, and you can see that the energy is coming back. I'm excited, actually. That's the energy is coming back. Thank you so much for learning with us. I'm going to see you on day 44, the next video, actually. And we are going to, the next video is going to be day 44, installing Python and setting up. All right, I haven't installed this on my MacBook, so we are going to do that together. I think it's going to be practically similar to installing it on your Windows laptop. If not, just try get on this YouTube and find videos that you can use to download the Windows as well. Thank you so much for watching. We didn't hit 100 subscribers, or we didn't hit, no, let me say it well. We didn't hit 100 learners by February. We actually hit 70 learners by February. But 70 is a B, and so we did well. Let's clap for ourselves again. So now, Operation 100 learners by end of March has started. In fact, let's do that quickly so that we can start looking forward to 500 and then 1,000 subscribers. That's the goal. Let's go. Thank you so much for watching. Share this to a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend that Data with Miss Mailiana is going to help them learn their data skills. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.